Okay, the main thing I want to point out that I noticed in watching you play is that you need to work on ball possession recognition. That's having the ability to recognize who, whether it's on your team or the other team, which individual player is in possession of the ball, or who has the better angle, the better shot, the better opportunity to go for the ball. So I think that's the main thing you need to work on, especially at Champion 3, because I honestly think if that's something you improve on, you can get up to Grand Champion if you want. You don't have to be the most skilled player to get to Grand Champion. If you understand the basics and execute the basic things, and not necessarily doing air dribbles, ceiling shots, and all that advanced stuff. You don't have to have extreme skill to get to where you got. If you if you perform and execute basic things all the time, every time, that's how you get to where you've gotten in Champion 3. Okay, so right here is good that you let him play the ball. You're reading off of him because he's got total ball control. And you had a good challenge right there. And this right here, I guess you're trying to go for a pinch. But, let's back up just a little. But right here, if you notice, after you jump, you hit the ball a second time with the back of your car. And that's something you need to try to avoid when you're going for a pass like this. Instead of jumping forward, maybe I just would have hit the ball and not jumped again. Maybe you could have gotten a bounce pass out like this, but because you hit it a second time, it came back and went out again. Okay, you should go for this. Alright, good. Go back, you don't have boost. Okay, so right here was a good idea to try to jump up and challenge. And, you double jumped up to get to your maximum height, which is what you should have done. But you just didn't have boost. And if you had boost to get forward just a little bit, you absolutely would have got the block. That was very good. I just want to point it out that you got your full boost, and you notice this is going to be a off the backboard and down, so you pre-jumped and went as fast as you can. Just barely beat your opponent right here, so that they couldn't score. That's very good. Okay, you should go middle. You should be looking for your teammate. Okay. I'm going to look at this again. Okay. You should go up. And what I mean by go up, I don't mean jump up. I mean just move forward. And that's what you did, so that's good. Your teammate should hit this. Now right here, I wouldn't necessarily say you should come back again. I think you kind of took a path like this, really, right here. And I wouldn't necessarily say that you need to do stuff like that. Like right here, just make your decision to move up, make your decision to move forward right here. Don't sit here and kind of contemplate, should I go up, should I go back? Okay, so right here you shouldn't have jumped for this. This was your ball. Like you have a better opportunity to hit this than your teammate, I feel like. But because he's going up the wall, he's going to try and hit it. You don't need to go for this. And at Champion 3, when you jump up for that, the small amount of time that you're just in the air, right here, renders you, I'm not going to say useless, but you're just not in a position to do anything because your teammate hit the ball. And at Champion 3, that can sometimes result in goals. Jump up. Okay, I think he jumped just a tad bit late right here. As soon as he hits this, you should jump right here. And you jump right here, just, you know, a split second later. Right here you should jump, but you jump when you get up to this point. And that split that split second down on the ground is about the same distance between you and his cart right here. So you probably would have at least been able to hit the ball if you would have jumped just a little sooner. And that's just for that instance right there, not necessarily saying you needed to jump sooner on everything. Okay, right here is again, so you and your teammates are doing a lot of double committing. Right here is always a risk to not jump up and go for a save, but because your teammates right here, I fully feel like you have the better angle, but your teammate doesn't know that. Your teammate's not looking for you. He's not looking around. All he's doing is focusing on the ball, which is something I think I've actually noticed you do a little bit as well. And that's something I think that holds a lot of people back, is that they focus 90% of their attention on the ball and where the ball's going, and the other 10% is focused on boost, and there's no percent on where your teammates or opponents are positioned. Like I mentioned at the very beginning, ball possession recognition, who's got the ball, who's got the better angle, you know, and stuff like that. That's something I think that I've noticed not just your teammates need to do, but you kind of need to do as well. And the main thing to work on that is turn off your ball cam more. Like when you're rotating or moving around, sometimes use your your right analog stick to move your camera around to see who's where before you make your decision. I've mentioned that a lot. But you do manage to get the hit right here. And right here, I really don't think I have to explain why this is a better hit for you than your teammate that's coming up right here. I mean, you're already have plenty of momentum coming this way. And you got to it sooner. And at Champion 3, whoever can get to the ball quicker is typically the person that should absolutely go for hits. I think you double jump for this. Yeah, so right here you double jump for this hit. And I think you should have just jumped up once and used your front flip, your second jump to front flip into the ball to get some power on it. Because it's just a little weak tap up. But it gives your team an opportunity to make a play. So, not going to say you made a bad decision there, but just that it could have been different, and in my opinion, a little bit better. Okay, right here I want to point out, okay, so after you go for this hit, you don't have boost, your ball cam is still on, and you're just watching the ball. And right here, as soon as you turn around, your teammate's right here in your face. And I think he backflips right here because you're right here in front of him, and he might be afraid you're going to hit him or something. And that's something to watch out for, is, you know, not trying to confuse your teammates with your positioning. You know, because after you landed, after this hit, you shouldn't have been looking at the ball anymore. There's nothing you can do right here. Even though it does look like it might bounce off the backboard or whatever, you just need to instantly turn around and get out of there, because you can't make any plays with no boost. And maybe it would have been different if you would have done that, because maybe your teammate went in a backflip, but I'm not saying your teammate backflip because of you. That has the potential to be completely incorrect. But I just know that's something I've personally done, is make mistakes because a teammate's right beside me, right behind me, right in front of me, because I don't know if they're going for it or, you know, what's going on. So try to work on the spacing that you have between your teammates. I don't know if that was a calculated hit, but if it was a very good read. Right here, you kind of let him win this challenge by not jumping up, because he already has height. If you would have jumped up, I think you could have actually been able to hit the ball under his car, because he's jumped up like this, and instead of hitting the ball down here, if you hit it up here, you might be able to kind of, bounce it under him, or at least pinch it between his car and the ground and win the challenge. Oh, you didn't wave dash. So right here, when you jump off, you land on your wheels, but you have your second jump. If you jump down, you'll do what's called a wave dash. If you don't know what that is, go to YouTube it. There's a lot of tutorials about it, but it's a way without boost to gain momentum. Alright, good play by your teammates. Alright, I like that you're driving over small boosts as you're rotating. That's good. Okay, right here, here's another spacing issue, I feel like. And this isn't you being too close. I feel like this is you being way too far away. This is easily over half the map distance between you and your teammates. I wouldn't have that, if possible. I would absolutely minimize that. So right here, you're kind of positioned kind of here at 3/4 depth in your own territory. I would position up here around the midline, maybe even just a little behind the midline, but definitely be up near midfield right here. And right here's another positioning thing. I noticed that sometimes it'll mess people up. Like you can tell your teammate has control and he's going up the wall, but yet you're coming behind him. You need to be coming this way, which is what you do, because you do turn right here, but sometimes this extra distance that you could have had all right here will sometimes result in you not being able to get to the ball quick enough, depending on the type of pass your teammate makes. And so right here, I guess your third teammate, he's back in this direction out of the camera shot. I'm gonna assume that he thought you were just going to keep rotating back. And this is another thing, like I mentioned earlier, ball position recognition. Move your camera around and recognize where your teammates are before you go for your shot, because if you would have turned your camera, your teammate might have already been up in the air, so then you would have known to just go back. But double commits like this, a champion, can sometimes be very, very bad. Because look at this, all three of you are on their side of the map, all three of them are on your side of the map. But they, for some reason, still don't score it. I don't know how they didn't score that either. Yeah, see right here, your teammate and you are right beside each other. Right here, you're both going for the same thing. Whether you're going for the same boost or you're going for the same hit, you need to prevent you and your teammates from going for the same thing. And the main way I prevent that is by fixing my own positioning, by positioning myself differently. Here's a triple commit right there. Saw that coming. So right here, you've got a teammate that's here and another one that's in goal. I wouldn't have jumped up for this at all. I would have stayed on the ground. I would have got behind the teammate in goal and positioned myself so that if he missed, I still would have been able to save this. Oh, you didn't need a double jump right here. So right here, you double jump for your hit, which causes you to go right by it to the right side of it. And just keep going back. Yeah, pick up small boosts. Alright, that's a good job of turning quickly. Pre-jump. Wow, that was a bad hit on the opponent's part. But right about here, yeah, you did I don't think you front flipped. If you would have front flipped, you probably would have got a little more momentum on it, but that's not a big deal right there at all. Yep, go to midfield. Alright, you turn your camera off right here for just a split. Let's watch your camera right now. You've got ball cam on. You're going to turn it off for a split second. And, kind of look over and see your teammate, which makes you stay back here. That's something you need to be doing a whole lot more. It shows me you know how to do it and that you do actually do it in game. But you just need to be doing that kind of stuff a whole lot more than what you are doing. Okay, so right here, just go to goal. And that's game. Okay, so yeah, just work on recognizing who's going for the ball, who's in position to go for the ball. Work on preventing double commits. And, just look more at your teammates, because I didn't recognize you looking at them other than that time I just mentioned a minute ago. But that's something you need to absolutely work on to help your positioning. The other thing I think you need to work on is a little bit of boost management, but also playing at a faster pace. So I don't think you were supersonic much during this game. I'm going to go through and time it and leave something in the comment about it. But yeah, the main thing I feel like you need to work on at Champion 3 is just recognizing your teammates' positions, not just looking at the ball. Look at your teammates, look at your opponents, look at their positions before, making your decision to go for the ball, to rotate back or rotate up or anything else.